So today we're going to start a new game because I feel like having a bit of fun. Got a load of scraps. As you can see, these are just complete scraps of fabric that I've used in projects, and I've got some netting, got some wool, just so much scraps. I've also got my little mini book that I made. I'll move my thread. Oh, I've got my threads. I've always got my threads ready to go. Little mini book that we made a couple of weeks ago, and I'll leave the link to how you can make one for yourself at the end of the video. Now, you don't need to make it out of felt. If you haven't got felt, you can make it out of anything. I have got one here that's made from cotton, and also one that's got a leather cover with just some plain blank pages. So I show you how to make those in a different video. Today, we're going to start playing in it. And this is like zero waste because we are using the scraps that would have been thrown away. I mean, I cut this off last week off the project I made. And I've also got some stamped images that I've done that, you know, I'm not going to use anywhere else. So I'm going to put them in here. And I've even got some labels from some clothes. And I always cut the labels out of mine because they itch me. So they're going in. So all I'm going to do is open my book and start stitching. That's it. Yep, that really is it. There's no plan. I have no plan yet. We will see if one emerges as we go. But I think the first thing I want to do is just get something on my page to start me off. And that's not working. Let's cut this bit and we'll just put it on because we've got to start. And we all know that starting is like, it's like the thing that's most difficult, isn't it? Starting the blank page. So all we're going to do, because I don't know what I'm going to do, is I'm going to stitch down the middle like this, just to get it onto the page. No basting stitches, no gluing it down first, just grab a piece and stitch it in. I'm taking inspiration from Susan Taylor Brown, and her Just Because books, which I absolutely love, and I've made a few. But I'm calling mine Zero Waste Books because I am using the complete scraps. Like, I quite like these. I'm going to put this in. And this is just is it the selvage edge? I'm not quite sure. And I just want to stitch them down. And we're going to see what happens. And the idea for this is basically to use your scraps up, but also just to enjoy the process and not... Oh, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a knot on the top of those. On each of them, it's going to have a little knot. So we're going to do a little French knot. Yeah. Enjoy the process and not worry about the end result. Now, I know this is going to be tricky for some people. I quite enjoy just stitching for the sake of stitching. But I know some people are sort of in the... It has to make sense and it has to follow the rules. Here we don't do that. We don't do that on this channel. We just like having a bit of fun with our stitching. So if you're new, yeah, that's what we basically do. And this you can practice stitches in this little mini book. You can just do the same stitch. You can do the only stitch you know, a straight stitch. You can learn with me. I'm a beginner. I've only been doing this since Roxy's Journal of Stitchery started, and I did the first couple. But I sort of want to do my own thing, which involves just stitching because I love it. So I'm just going to work in this little tiny book because, and the reason I made it so small is because it's not intimidating, you know, and it's just fun to work in something little. And I'm not a big, I'm not a big advocate of tiny, because I'm a bit clumsy. But, you know, little is cute. And I think this is looking all right. Oh, already it's looking cute. And I've only put 2 pieces of fabric down. And I quite like these little knots. And you sort of take your cue from what you put down. So you can use anything you like, whatever scraps you've got. Let's try and not throw our bits away. And you don't need to have a plan. I do have a plan sometimes. Not very often, I've got to admit. It's not very often I have a plan. But I just thought, why not? I'm going to come across here and I'm going to stitch this down with a running stitch. Now that is just, I'm going to pin that, I think, because it keeps coming over on me. Right, what have I got? Safety pin. Okay, I've got a big safety pin here because this is flopping on me. So I'm just gonna stitch them together, pin them together for a minute, out my way. They'll probably both flop over on me in a minute. But, you know, that's how it goes. So we're going to do little baby running stitches down here. And if you just want to do running stitches, carry on. It's your book. You just do whatever you like. And we'll just have a bit of fun together with the stitching. So if you gather your scraps up, if you've made one of these books already and you are wondering what I was going to make, this is one of the things I want to make. The other one will be a bit more structured. I'm going to do another one. But this one, I just want to use up some of these bits. I've gone wonky. Oh no. Oh no. But you know, just using up what I've got left. I mean, I'm thinking we had this. This was, oh no, you don't know. You haven't seen that video yet. What have I got? So, don't think I'll put that in. I may put that on. I've got some lace. Or nearly gave away the secret then. We could make a pocket across the bottom. But we need to fill this gap in. What about this? No, that's going to cover it all up. Now dig deep. I have this. Cut that off. And we're going to put this. We're just going to cover the base. Sort of. And I'm not sure if I'm going to put stuff over the top, if we're going to stitch over it, what we're going to do yet. We're just trying to get the base of the page down, and then we'll have a look and see what we want to do next. So I hope you'll join me and grab all your scraps out. And remember, you don't need a plan. You don't need to think, oh, what is it going to be? We're not worried about what it's going to be. We're just going to enjoy throwing our scraps into a book. It's like, how many scraps can you get rid of into one little book? And it will look cool. I hope. I'm sure it will. We will see. We will see what it looks like. So let's finish that off. We're sort of back where we started. That was quite cool. Didn't plan it. That's just how it's gone. So I've used all that thread. And of course, I've got my scrappy bits here. So I may be putting some of them on. So I could put this lace on. But I'm thinking I want to put a word. I think that one's quite apt. Journey. We could put this on. Or we could put this on and then put the journey over the top. Maybe like that. We could do that. Okay. And I've just got... These threads are just from projects I've been working on. And they're left over. So I'm using those. So they're little scrappy bits of cotton as well. Or embroidery thread. Whatever it is I've got on my needle. And let's go round it first. Just tack it down, she says, hopefully. Oh, I've got 2 needles. Oh my goodness. That's not going to work, is it? I'm like, why is that going through? God, I don't think I could stitch with 2 needles. Right, let's get... Oh, that's really tiny. I don't think you can even see my stitches, but, you know. They're there. So I want you to grab your scraps. Get your little mini books that we made. Or if you haven't made one, watch the video at the end and go make one. And get your scraps together. And let's just let our imaginations have a bit of a play. What do you think? Does it sound good? Does it sound good to just let yourself stitch for no reason? Just, it's like glue booking, I think. If you're into glue booking or collage, you know, random collage, it's like just getting bits of fabric and putting them down without really thinking too much. And I might do some more decorative stitches over the top of all this. I probably will. But I want to make these videos shorter than my some of mine. We are going to have a little practice with the what they call it, the stitching hour, because I've had a few people who said, you know, I've asked how long do you want the videos, and I've had a few people who said, you know, stitching hour would be good. So I've got a couple coming up, so we'll see how popular they are and take it from there. Now, oh, I'm quite tempted to use this. Maybe not. It's a fine line between getting them big enough to put what you want to go through and actually going through your fabric. That one, will that one go through? Oh, eventually. Right, let's try this one. It's just trial and error. I want to sew with this wool. Or see if I can sew with this wool. I don't know. It's so pretty. Ooh, look. Well, I can thread, so that's a good start. Whether we can actually get this through the fabric is another matter. So, I'm not going to knot the end because I might be pulling it back out. What shall we do? What shall we do? Shall we just go round this in like, oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, that's quite tough. That's quite tough, guys. We're going to leave a thread and then I can tie a knot if I need to. Right. What I might do is a running stitch and then I might whip stitch round it with something else. Oh, yeah, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough, but it might look quite pretty when we're finished. So, oh, you know, the things we can do. Oh no, this is going to be too tough, I think. Too tough. It's not going through. I've got like 3 lots trying to go through there, haven't I? That's not going to work. That's not going to work, Carol. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. I am so determined. Right, let's get the end through first, and that's out the way. Then that can come through. Right, we are going to do it. It's going to work. I'm going to persevere. Maybe we should just go down and then back up. Maybe that'd be easier. Maybe not. Okay, all right, I give up. Maybe that's not working, my plan. But it doesn't matter. We had a go. And I do show you all the oopsies as well. There's a few of them. Right, is that it? Is it this one? I'm just going to untangle my mess now, and then we'll be off and running again. Come on. There we go. Right. So, not quite working how I wanted it to. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come up one more time along the bottom. Hopefully. It does want to tangle up. I don't think I'm going to make it all the way round. I might do it in something else. Maybe some thicker bits of embroidery thread or a thinner wool, because that's quite furry. It's really pretty though. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to whip stitch back again, but I don't need to go through, so we can just do that. And we'll go through. I might make, it's like a pattern. Now that's a shame because that would look so pretty. So I'm going to come back through. One more effort. Come on. Okay, right, okay. I know when I'm beaten. We're fine. So that'd be all right for whip stitching. So what I want is to do some more, but obviously not with that. So if at first you don't succeed, have another go. I'll tie that knot. Okay, so if at first you don't succeed, just have another go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the rest of this with a few strands of embroidery thread, and we're going to do the same because it might be slightly easier. And I'm going to go right on the outside of this label. And all I've done is stamped onto a piece of cotton fabric with my words. And I'm sure you've got some words. Doesn't matter what they say. Just grab them out. Oh my goodness, is it just felt that's really difficult to stitch with? Maybe it is. Okay, right. So we're going round. And that's better. Slightly easier with the thinner cotton. I know you're all laughing at me, and I don't care. I am quite happy, providing some entertainment. Especially when there's people who are quite good at stitching. And they watch me, and they're like, "You're doing so much better." It's like, thank you. Oh dear. And I do feel like I'm improving. I just enjoy this bit. Oh, not this bit where I come off the needle all the time. Don't enjoy that bit. We've got edges. Let's cut them off. I'm never going to get them through, am I? Yeah, I think there's 3 strands there. So it's a bit tough to get through my little tiny needle. But it gets through eventually. I keep breaking these things because I pull them and then they break. I only needed to do one more, look, one more. Okay. Hello, whinge bag. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stitch that down because that was our wool. And we didn't tie it off, did we? So if I go over the top of that, that will stitch that down as well. Here she comes. No, you've got 2 lots of dinner already. I'm not giving you anything else. You eat what you've got, else you're going to be very hungry. She's so naughty. Yeah, I think she's so sweet and she's so naughty. Right, where's my... this? I'm going to carry on. I'm going to have another go because I'm stubborn like that. No! And I'm going to try coming up where I went down last time. Pull. I only need to come up and down once. So we're going to leave the dangly bit again. And we're just going to do that whip stitch. Like this. And I'm going to go backwards and forwards. You can go in the same direction. There's different ways to do it. So you can go sort of in there and then back in here. Or you can keep going into the same size like that. So always go from the inside out or the outside in. Or you can swap and go backwards and forwards. And that leaves like a wavy line. Practice. See what you like best. This is the perfect book to do that in. Just... yes, I know. You're not getting anything else. I haven't had my breakfast yet. I've given you 2 breakfasts. It's no good sniffing all the fabric. There's nothing in there for you. Okay, right. We're going to do a double little row of this because we've already got one. But, you know, I've got another one now. How cute is this? Considering this is just like waste. I'm absolutely loving how it's turning out. Now, the only issue is getting back through. Or shall we? Shall we not go back through? We could just do something here. What have I got? Oh, if I could find like a button or something. I could just put a button on there and tie it. Could I? Could I? Or we could put something on. Maybe a flower. All I've got is fabric bits. What I need are some buttons and odd little bits. That's what I need. Very quickly. Let me see what I can find. Right. I have this little... this is where I throw things when I'm finished. Now, I've got these I never used last time. Maybe we could put one of them in. Don't drop them. That's pretty, but I don't think it's going to go through there. Should we go with one of the flowers? I think that flower. I know it doesn't match the yellow underneath, but do you know what? I'm not worried. And I'm gone through it the wrong way. I am worried about that. What I really want to do is come up and go down so I can see the pretty flower. Now, let's go back down. She says, hopefully. Right, I'm going to pull this quite to the end so it doesn't take so long to get through. And hopefully that'll work. Oh, come on. Oh, yes. There we go. So I've got 2 ends which I can now tie up. A lovely big knot on the other side, which I shall make a feature of when I get to that page. There we go. Like a little flower. I'm quite loving that. And I may do some more. I don't know what time it is. But let's get some. Need to put some maybe red on there. I've got this. Let's the tiniest little bit. So I think we could actually do some, maybe we'll make some flowers or something. Let's just put the needle in and see what happens. I'm just wondering if I've got anything. I like this. I might use some of this. Can I make a flower? Maybe something like this. Oh, I don't know. Let's have a look. Just play. It's just play, guys. Doesn't need to do anything. Doesn't need to be anything. Just have some fun. You never know. You might come up with something you want to use in your proper stitching projects. And now I've lost me loop. Oh, we're doing well here. How not to stitch. Okay, right, let's just remedy this somehow. Right, so we've got one bit down then. We'll just come up and do another little bit. For some reason, I think I caught a little bit there. So we're gonna do this. And then we're gonna try and catch it all down. Why not? Why not? And I have got so many buttons and things that I don't use, that I think these is also a good place to put things that you haven't used or you won't use in, you know, maybe they're not your style. You know, it's always a place for something. Let's pop them down. I think that looks quite nice. Little flower. I mean, we could do more, but I think it's probably just that little bit up there, just something. And let's do some stitches down there. Now, these are my favourite stitches, these little seaweed ones. I'm going to do some of them. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, I know, I'm all over the place. Do apologise. But, you know, that's how it is sometimes. So do that. Make a loop. I have a video on this as well. On how to do these. Left-handed as well. I know. It's like, that's the tricky bit for me. But we get there in the end. So if you look in my playlist of basic stitches, that's where all the stitches that I practice go. And I try and make it really clear, and I'll repeat them so that you can just sort of follow and watch along. And I find that watching and copying is quite... It's a good way for me to do it. I don't know about you guys, but they seem to be okay. People seem to think, you know, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. And it, you know, I'm a beginner. So it's a beginner teaching beginners, which is it's always fun. Okay, let's do one more stitch. That's a little one. Let's do a bigger one. And we're going to do that. And it looks now like it's a little flower. I should maybe have done that in green, but I didn't. And I'm not worried because, you know, I'm just not. This is my little scrappy book. My little have some fun book. What do you think? I think I'm going to leave it just like that for now. I may do some more. I may not. I may go on to the next page next time. Let me know if you're going to have a go at this. I'd love to know if this is your thing. Just having some fun. I know it is for some of you. I do know that. And I would also like to say thank you for all the new subscribers that we've had. Thank you so much for coming to check me out. And if you haven't subscribed but you're watching, thank you again. You don't need to. Just come and watch. I appreciate that so much. I'll see you all very soon, guys. Next Saturday, I think, is Sally's adventures, if I'm timing this right. And we're, what are we doing? Are we making her bedroom next week? I think we might be. So join me for that. It's going to be fun. Bye for now.